Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Donnie with Designs by Donnie, and today I'm going to show you how to properly install C-channels. Let's go. I want to thank MirkaUSA for sponsoring this video. Let's discuss why you would use C-channels. Anytime you're working with solid wood, you're going to get seasonal wood movement, and you want to stabilize that. As the seasons change, the wood expands and contracts, and we want to minimize that as much as possible. I have a C-channel in the shop here. It's around 36 inches, and I only need 18, so we're going to cut this into two 18-inch halves. Using my metal cutting bandsaw, I'm gonna cut these C-channels. However, if you don't have a bandsaw, you can just grab an angle grinder and cut it. Now that I've cut both pieces to size, I'm basically just gonna lay them out on the tabletop, like so. Once I get the exact area that I wanna place it in, I'm gonna take my precision square, line it up so it'll be precise, and then I'm gonna take a marker and I'm gonna mark everywhere I'm gonna drill holes to attach it to the table. I'm gonna cut several holes in this C-channel. Now I want to be sure to get as many holes as possible, as I'm actually going to move it on to the next step where I'm going to file them down. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. Now that the holes are all complete, I'm gonna put it in my vise clamp and I'm gonna get ready to start filing. This is what I was talking about before. Take a metal file and just file until you can't file anymore. We're basically trying to take a normal shaped hole and make it elongated. Once the holes are filed, grab your Mirka DEROS sander and 180 grit paper. Let's sand off the old finish. Basically, it's the finish that comes on it from the manufacturer. We want to remove that as we're going to paint these and we want the paint to adhere to it better. Moving on to the next step, grab a straight edge. I like to take my router and line it up. You could easily just measure off the distance from the router bit to the side of the router, but you know, I love doing things the hard way. And I'm kind of a visual guy, so I like just lining up my bit, lining up my straight edge, and then clamping it down so I can see precisely where it's gonna be without taking into account that I might make a math error. Using a 1/4 inch down cut router bit, I'm gonna go back and forth until I have my C-channel about 3/8 of an inch deep. But don't just dial in your router to 3/8 of a depth. You're gonna wanna work your way up to it. So I'm at about 1/8 of an inch deep, and I'm gonna make several passes until I reach the 3/8. Once you have one side cut, start working on the other side for the C-channel. Now I know what you're probably thinking about right about this moment is, wow, this is a lot of work to install this metal strip in a small table. But I assure you, it doesn't come without good reason. Guys, I've been making tables for many years now, and when I first started in this business, I almost went out of business because of all my tables either warping or not prepping it properly for seasonal wood movement. It was a very tough challenge for me in those years. I had to learn this the hard way. No matter how much you square the table up, wood is always going to move. So install those C-channels, fellas. Take your time, get it done correctly. I'm just taking the dust extractor and I'm cleaning out some of the sawdust. I'm also gonna hook the sander back up and just make a couple of passes. I'm just smoothing it out, trying to make a good fit. As the next step is gonna take the router and we're gonna try to carve out the middle section in between the two cuts, and we're gonna go just a tad bit more than of an 1/8 inch deep, probably closer to 3/16. Now that we've done all that hard work, let's do a little dry fit test. Let's go ahead and take the C-channel, put it into the slot, and make sure it fits properly. And we want it to be able to slide back and forth at least 1/4 of an inch. That way when the seasonal wood contracts and expands, so doesn't the metal. After I marked my holes, I'm gonna take a 3/8 of an inch drill bit. I put a stop collar on it for my proper depth, and I'm gonna go ahead and drill all my holes. These are gonna serve as the placement for the threaded inserts. Next, install a little CA glue on your inserts. You want to make sure it really takes place and really gets good adhesion. So I screw on just a little bit, take it all the way down flush to the tabletop, wipe off the excess, and let it sit for a good half hour before you move on to anything else. Okay, this next step you could easily skip if you would like. I don't, however, because I believed in perceived value, and I think it's a really high quality thing to do. So I take spray paint that's meant for metal and that's rust free. It really creates a better look. It's cleaner and it rings higher in quality to me. The tabletop has been stained and sealed. The C-channels have been painted and sealed. Now we're gonna install them in the bottom of the table. Just take a washer, take a 1/4 inch machine screw, and get to town. Okay guys, this concludes the video on installing C-channels into a tabletop to help stabilize solid wood and seasonal wood movement. I hope that makes sense to you. Stay tuned for the next video as we have more videos coming your way. Have a great day, guys. Peace.